Hello, my name is Val Hetrick. Welcome to the next edition of the More series presented by Maz 360. Today we will discuss how non-Windows devices are gaining popularity and how employees are bringing their own devices into your enterprise. We will also address how you, as an IT administrator, can track, manage, and support these devices alongside your Windows PCs in one environment. In our webinar today, we will start with some information about devices and the challenge they bring. We see this as a two-dimensional challenge in terms of the change in architectures, PCs moving to tablets and moving to smartphones, and the change in ownership, where users are juggling corporate-owned devices along with personal devices. At the end, we will demo a solution to help you gain visibility into these non-Windows and personally owned devices. Historically, Windows-based laptops and desktops were the only devices IT would allow and support in their corporate environment. Microsoft provided tools like SCCM and WSUS to manage and track these devices when on the network. IT could push operating system patches and remotely control these devices as long as they were on the LAN. The same held true for BlackBerries. The BlackBerry Enterprise Server allowed the admin to manage a policy for the devices, like requiring a password or the ability to remotely wipe a device. Now Apple continues to grow their Mac market share. Gartner and IDC both showed around a 9% market share in 2009, not to mention the growth predictions for iPhones and iPads in 2011. A UBS report predicted 28 million iPads to be sold. Apple previously reported 1 million sales in 28 days. Droid also continues to impact the market, and the BlackBerry Playbook and Torch also introduced new challenges. Employees are buying these devices and hooking them up to their corporate environment. Our CEO told me an interesting story the other day from a conference he attended where there were 45 people in attendance. 43 had iPads, and 40 of them had paid out of pocket. They all had access to corporate data. As I mentioned, IT is tasked with managing, tracking, and supporting these growing number of devices along with their current devices. Traditional Microsoft tools are built for this job only when dealing with Windows devices. Traditional LAN-based solutions just aren't getting the job done. One use case showed that up to 25% of remote devices were not being managed with these tools in place. Users are not connecting back to the LAN and are working remotely more and more. Needless to say, I have both an iPad and an iPhone, and it's rare that I even turn on my corporate laptop outside of the office. To help IT address this challenge, we have created the Maz 360 Visibility Service for the Mac. Existing Maz 360 customers know that we already have single views into the broad Windows devices and to BlackBerries. We have now added Mac to this view to present you with one console full of all of your devices. The Maz 360 Visibility Service for the Mac gathers hardware and software inventory data from your Macs and presents it in Maz 360 in the same view as your Windows PCs. These are just two example graphs from the hardware inventory summary that show the Mac operating system, Leopard, in the summary, and Apple as the manufacturer in the device summary. We will show additional data in the demo in a few moments. The service requires a small, lightweight agent to be deployed to your Apple machines. It's about 2 meg in size and is provided in a PKG file. Both Leopard and Snow Leopard are supported. The service runs on the endpoint, monitoring the posture of security applications based on an administratively defined policy. It's always on, requires no user interaction, and works on and off your corporate LAN. The service automatically remediates security applications if needed and logs all policy-related events and actions. The logs are uploaded to the Maz 360 cloud infrastructure via a secured session, and the Maz 360 Management Center processes the data for customer use. Let's now take a look at the demo. The first part of this demo will dive into device views. Here you can see Apple is listed as a manufacturer alongside Dell, IBM, and HP. Let's sort by manufacturer to find a device to drill into. We will now select the device we want to view. First, the device summary appears. In the summary, you can find information about the Maz 360 Visibility Service and information about the hardware. Click the Hardware Inventory link. The hardware inventory displays additional information about the hardware. The basic information is captured by our agent. The device identity information can be loaded by you for additional tracking. Next, we will select the Network Information link. The network information is displayed. Next, we will click on the Software Installed link. Here you can view the application name and the version of installed applications. The application vendor and install date are not applicable to the Mac OS. Next, we will click on the Operating System link. Here you can see which operating system is installed on the device. Let's move into the hardware inventory overview. The device summary by manufacturer graph will show Apple as part of your installed base. The operating system summary graph shows which Mac OSs are installed in your environment. Let's drill into the Apple devices by selecting the bar above Apple. The hardware identity report shows additional information about the device's hardware. The boot ROM version is mapped to the BIOS serial number, and the Apple serial number is mapped to the motherboard serial number. Here I am going to drill down onto a specific device. Once the filter is applied, we will look at the Hardware Capacity tab. Hard drive and system space attributes can be viewed on this report. Next, we will select the Operating System tab. Here, you can view the operating system, architecture, and version of the Mac OS. Next, we will select the Network Information tab. Information about the network adapter, IP address, and MAC address are located here. Note, the domain is not applicable to the Mac OS. Now we are going to take a look at the software inventory overview. We will first create a filter for the airport software. Once the filter is applied, MAS360 shows us two applications that contain airport, the number of the major versions and the install count. The Software Details tab will display additional information on the users who have these products installed. Again, the application vendor and installed date do not apply to the Mac OS. We have now logged out of MAS360 and have completed the demo. Thank you for your time, and feel free to contact me at vhetrick@fiberlink.com if there are